Hello, happy Friday, Team WAG. I just kind of wanted to pop on here real quick because I wanted to introduce our WAG macros meal planning package right here. So I apologize if it is backwards and it reads backwards, but I think that you will see the benefit of it. So as a team, we know that sometimes when you first start, or even along your journey, you're like, sometimes it would just be so much easier if I was giving a meal plan. But the truth is that sometimes, most of the time, life happens outside of a meal plan. And while meal plans can be really effective, we want to actually teach you to create one that you are able to adjust and really fits within your lifestyle. So if someone told me to eat sweet potatoes and rice every day, I wouldn't do it. And it would work probably for like 6 weeks, and then that would be it. But instead, our goal is to help you create kind of like a template, because most people generally eat probably like 10 to 15 foods, just in different combinations and in different orders. Because at the end of the day, let's say that you go to breakfast and you wind up eating a lot of fat that day. Well, at like breakfast, we want to teach you then how to adjust the rest of your day so that you can still have a successful day and hit your macros. So to do that, okay, I think you can see it. Really, this is the brainchild of Snow, and I'm going to show you how. And so she is the epic person who has created this, and we are just so thankful for her. Okay, so let's get started. The first page is kind of like our table of contents, and I hope you can see it. There you go. Right? This actually has the infographic that we see that is always commented on. Here it is. Okay, so there's a glare, and I want to make sure that you guys are able to see all this. So what it has, this is not a complete list. This is more of like a list to help spark ideas and really just help get the creative juices going to help you hit your macros. And if you get stuck, this is excellent. And it's laminated. Why? Because you're more likely in the kitchen cooking. So we want to make sure that this stays nice. So the first thing we have is it's our denser carbs, moderate carbs, volume carbs. So if you hear someone talk about volume foods and you don't know exactly what that means, so we have things like arugula, broccoli, Brussels, cauliflower, all the volume. Okay, and then we have super lean protein, lean, our fattier proteins, and fats. All the way down to condiments, beverages, and Whole30 snacks. We know that a lot of people have different types of preferences, and so our goal is to help you meet your nutritional needs through your preference. Why? Because that's what's going to work best for you. This is awesome. This is amazing to have in your kitchen, okay? Next page is our template. So this is not a meal plan, but let's say that you checked in with your coach and your coach was like, okay, hey, let's work on making sure that we don't undereat our fats. As you plan out your week, if you notice that this is a lonely column and there's barely any fats in this, then this is like one way that we know, okay, hold on, let me go back to the page before, look up some different types of fats. All right, there's duck fat here. I think duck fat's delicious, but I'm probably not gonna get a hold of that. But there's other awesome options in there, like avocado oil. There's sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. So other things to help spark, okay, let me try to work in fats in different ways, right? You go back and then we start filling it out. This kind of helps us see our week from an overview. This also really helps with planning and grocery shopping. And then we specifically have it like meal 1, 2, 3, and 4, because we know that some people don't eat breakfast or don't want to eat breakfast or wait until about lunchtime to eat, right? So we don't want you to be tied up by, oh, I have to eat breakfast or I have to eat a certain meal, when really we just want you to find a template that works best for you. Next, you will also recognize this because this is the second infographic that is tagged the most on our page. It's basically when you get to the end of the day and it's like, what do I eat? I'm like behind on my carbs, I'm behind on my fats, or I'm behind on protein, right? So Snow did another epic job of really just creating a list. And again, it's not a complete list because there's tons of foods out there, but this really, again, just helps jumpstart the problem solving process, right? So if like you need protein, which shrimp, flounder, bone broth, maybe you are behind on your carbs and fats. So things like peanut butter and a banana. That's a solid way to hit that. Volume foods, let's say that you're a little bit hungrier, but yet you're behind. So then there's things like zucchini, coffee for beverages, pickles. Just it's a really great chart to help problem solve. Maybe you need just protein and just carbs. We have that. Maybe protein and just fat. So this is the, hey, what do I do type of thing, all right? Now we flip over, once I get that. This is where like the magic happens. Why? Because we've provided the like information, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't fit your preference. It doesn't matter if it's not foods that you don't normally like or foods that you don't want to eat. So I encourage you then to go the next step and then fill this part out. Why? Because you may not like all the foods on that lean protein list, but it sparked enough food ideas for you to write your own. So for me, like all the seafood would go underneath here. I actually just found a tri-tip that I would love to get my hands on next trip to the grocery store, but I would put that there. Carb focused foods, fat focused foods. And this sheet is important because this helps streamline the process, right? We don't want to always be sitting in front of the refrigerator with MyFitnessPal open, trying to do all the math, trying to see what fits. So we got to first sort through, like, do we even like that food? Do we want to eat that food? And will it fit? Having your own cheat sheet allows you to be like, okay, it's the end of the day, or I just need to finish up my carbs. And you have a list of like the top 10 carbs that you like and the macros already written on there. So this really helps solve the problem, and it really helps save our like brain space. I mean, like we have so much to do during the day that anytime that we can streamline something and make it easier, we're more likely going to stick with it, and it's more likely going to become a habit. And then so at the bottom, we all have certain combinations that we tend to eat high in and certain combinations that we tend to eat low in. So let's say that you tend to be behind on your fats and proteins, then I would encourage you to then take this section, write your fat and protein options. So for me, a fat protein option would be cheese. Like I just love cheese. So I would actually write down the type of goat cheese that I'm currently eating right now, and then the macros. Why go ahead and write down the macros? So again, whenever you see that you're behind, you have a cheat sheet to go straight to it. This really helps plan how to be successful, right? So like this gives us all the tools, basically, well, not all the tools, but you know what I mean? You know, like food options, foods that like you might enjoy. And then this really puts it all together. Like this is like your own personal chart. Like we've given you a reference and now it's your own personal chart. So then at the end of the day, you can just flip it to the back, and we also laminated it so that you can write on it. So you can erase it. So this is going to last for as long as you want. All right. The next thing is da-da-da-da. Okay. And then also I use this all the time. So again, let's say that your coach says that, hey, we really need to work on our protein, and you are sitting here writing your list and you realize that this lonely spot up here is empty. That is a huge sign. Okay. It's really hard to be successful and hit my protein macros if I am actually not buying it. So we want to make sure that our kitchen is set up to have the items that we need in order to be successful. Not saying that it's not possible, but it's really hard to hit your protein if we don't have protein in our fridge. So that's kind of it. Both of these items are available on the store. I will provide the link. And because I don't think there's very many people watching, because I kind of just popped up on here, because we have the last workout. So I just wish you all the best. And if you have any questions, go ahead and write it, and I will answer them. Have a great day. Bye.